we can start off our speech. The two people at the top of the stage, one of them will be very familiar to you, and that is our very own Consul General for the Kingdom of Tonga, Louise Waterhouse. And if I can just invite her to come and say a few words to the crowd. Malo.
Malo, malo. What a thrill it is to be here today with this glorious weather and to celebrate the getting together of Tonga and Tonga culture in this country of ours. And of course, I really acknowledge the work that's done by Isaleli, Stephen and the rest of the team to pull this together and so we can all come and celebrate. It's a pleasure to be here because the reality is we're here to celebrate the Constitution of Tonga, which was introduced 141 years ago. And you might say, well, you know, that's a while ago and what's it to me? But it was actually a very interesting time because the first king of Tonga, King Tupou I, he was a very enlightened man. And at the time, the biggest worry for Tonga was whether Tonga was going to be yet another country in the Pacific going to be colonized, or we might say invaded. So King Tupou I, he took his energies and he went to Germany, he went to France, he went to England, he went to the USA, and he signed friendship treaties so as to protect Tonga's independence forevermore. Then he went a step further and he introduced the Constitution. And the Constitution was very significant because by having Tonga's own Constitution, he could say to those European powers, don't you worry about us, leave us alone, we know what we're doing. And the very special thing he put in the Constitution, which none of the others had, because it's actually based on our Constitution from New South Wales, he said, I don't want to see any Tongan person homeless. I've seen it in Australia, I've seen it in other countries. I don't want that for my people. I don't want anybody to starve. So he put into the Constitution that every Tongan male at the age of 18 would be entitled to his land, that he could grow his crops, and a house to live on his home. So that's what we're here to celebrate today, the basis that this King Tupou I gave for Tonga to go on to the next centuries and be strong and great. Today is also an opportunity for us to showcase Tongan culture. And I must say, I'm very proud to see the turnout here today. After 40 years of representing the Kingdom of Tonga in Australia, where we started with a few pioneering islanders, it just fills our heart with joy to see such Tongan people who are achieving so much. And you might say, oh, well, what does the Consulate do? What are we doing? And it's a very interesting situation because we're an honorary capacity. That means that the late King asked my father to help Tonga and to represent in Australia. Being honorary, there's no recompense. It's something we do for our love, the love of Tonga and the love of the people. And we're there for you. We're there for you if you have problems with your passport. We're there for people wanting to go to Tonga who need visas. And we're there just to help make things happen. So just remember, the Consulate in North Sydney is a little bit of Tonga in Australia, and it's your home too. But today I'd like to celebrate some of the Tongans that have been so special, and we've seen the two terrific rugby league players, Tony and Penny. We all know about Israel Folau and other rugby league players as well. How exciting. Today we have people such as Monia Gerard, who played for the netballers. And then we have Tongans in other fields, and I was so pleased to hear the talk before about study, university, because really that is empowerment. Through knowledge we gain confidence, and through knowledge we gain power. So whatever we can do to improve our knowledge and our skill set will only help. And that's why I'm so pleased to see so many Tongans who are in different fields of life, whether it be in the law, whether it be in education, whether it be, for example, Louisa Alamutua, who I'm proud to say is our volunteer community liaison officer, all wonderful ambassadors for the Tongan culture here in Australia. And of course, I can't go past mentioning two wonderful sports stars. We were very fortunate to have in Australia last week Bruno Banani. Bruno Banani is the Tongan with the craziest name, who decided to represent Tonga for the first time at the Winter Olympics in the luge. Now that might sound, oh, that's a good idea, but it's actually an unbelievable feat what he did. As a simple Tongan man, he took the opportunity to learn a new sport in a country far away. He'd never seen a flake of snow before, and he learned to become good enough to be in the world's elite in the luge, travelling at speeds of 130 kilometres an hour, feet first down this narrow channel. And he was here last week with his documentary about his journey, and it is so inspirational. So I encourage all of you to find a copy of this movie and watch what he's done, because he's a great role model for Tongans. And I do think Tonga's greatest asset is his people. It's people like you, your friends, your neighbours. It's people that are inspired to do great things. And sometimes it doesn't have to be being the best in your field. It sometimes just needs you to be thinking outside the box. And that's exactly what Peter did at the Rio Olympics just recently. You'll be all aware of how he broke the internet when he stormed onto the stage representing Tonga, carrying the Tongan flag with his six-pack chest oiled with coconut oil. Wasn't he a star? And I must say it had effects, because within the next weeks the interest in Tonga soared by 60%, and even sales of coconut oil went up by 300%. So it's a good example. Yes, work hard. Yes, try and be the best, but also try and think about your expertise, your skills, and think outside the box. So today I look forward to seeing some of the wonderful events, the presentations, the shows of culture, and I encourage each and every one of you to embrace your Tongan heritage, to make the best of what you can be. Because when you know where you've come from, it's only there that you can know where you're going, and then you become more special than anyone else. So good on you, and malo.
O kore ke hufanga e whakatapu, mahalo ko ka tapu pēa mo Consul ko e Kureanga Tonga, Honorary Waterhouse. Pehe ka mele pusiaki mo hau eiki, mea mai mi olunga bihe, pehe fuke whaiwhekau e siasi meskoti, o maa no hoa mo kai ngā kotoa o e siasi o meskoti. Pehe ke kai ngā kotoa, ha moa pēa mo fisi, pēa mo tauwhanua kotonga, mo mea mai whakalangilangi ko tau. It is our day. It's never been a day for somebody. It is a day for the Pacific Island. And looking at you at the moment, we feel with joy. It's a good feeling to see you coming down to celebrate the Tonga Day this afternoon. Now, amanaki ke whanga o introduce ya to e mau komiti, ko hingu nau si ihela o whai e whatongia. Ka mea pango nau mo haula ngai tapa ke kehe, pe e ke lava ke whakahoko e whatongia ko ia. Te ki lava si ke tau komiti ko ia. It is not easy. It's very tough. But they stand up and do it for you and for all Tongans. And to see you come around and to support us more than ever I hela. Ko mea pek mau ilo mau fia, e mau mamata tonu atu o kumau mea mai ke whakalangilangi o tau aho. Ko e aho, ko e ni foku te mau inga, tau whakamanato e aha konistu tone e kau Tonga. Peko konistu tone e Kureanga Tonga. Way back 141 years ago, nai kai ke whaingo fua, King George I, he fought for it to unite the Kingdom of Tonga. And today, part of it, we are proud of it. It's a courage. We have a king stood up, fought for us, and liberate the people of Tonga. He distributed talent and implement a lot of democratic move which contained in our constitution in Tonga. It's a proud history. I'm not going to stay and talk about it, but it's important to us and to remind us as Tongan, there is somebody there, King George I, who fought for us, And this week, we celebrate the Constitution of Tonga. I think part of the Constitution, it embodies some of the things that he visualized. King George I thought about it a long time ago. And that is, we need, when we are in this country, to live in harmony with each other, appreciate our diversity, and also appreciate our differences. It's in the Constitution. It does not spell out that one, but he reminds us the basic value as a Tongan. Also, in the Constitution, it said about something else. It said about respecting the rule of law of this country. Also, respecting the parliament of this house, of this country. All these things, all this good thing, goodness, King George I taught us. It reminds us that we keep going in this country. Famalo ato pino-pino ngai mea kola wapea, famalo foki ki Honorable Waterhouse, ay agoe whakalanglangi, ay puli ang Tonga, ene mea mai ke ne whakalanglangi o tawaho. Kai ka harea ma... Mawhewhia pe, wong mea mai ha.
Maloisi, and thank you very much, Louise. Don't forget, any consul, any particular Tongan government issues in terms of passports, visas, and anything like that, please go to North Sydney. It's really close to the station, Walker Street, level 6, and there's some good McDonald's and good food around there too. But don't forget, there are food stores, and Louise, do you have any final more words before we let you wander?
Yes, well, I just want to say once again, the words of Isileli are so true, that we have to respect each other, help each other, respect our differences, and work together, because united, we are stronger. And that's what it's all about. And we should take inspiration from those before us to see how they've gone through their lives and what we can do for each other. And I very much look forward to having a wander around and seeing all the great stalls and meeting you. So please don't hesitate to come up and say hello. Thank you.
Would you give the official party a round of applause, guys? Louise Waterhouse and Isileli Tavuki of the Tongan Community Development Incorporated. Hello. All right, let's get the party started. If we can get Matavai to the stage. This is the party block of Tonga Day Entertainment. Don't forget, if you want to, if you've got anyone who can't make it here, we have got Tonga Day live cam with Paula up there with the camera ready to go. So if you have friends or family around the world who want to tune in live, we are webcasting live on the Tonga Day page.
Awesome, thank you, Jay.